Hi, y'all. I'm Allison. The Magical Readathon is back. That's right. We're returning to Orilium Academy for the fall semester, or Autumn Equinox. This readathon is hosted by G over at Book Roast, and if you haven't joined in, then check out the description box. I'll have a link to her video explaining what this is all about because it is so much fun. Basically, it all centers around Orilium Academy. You get to pick what class, what your major is going to be, and then you run through the list of classes that you have to take to fulfill that major, and then your prompts are attached to the different classes. And you can even create a character. There's side quests. She has AMSR rooms that you can set up in the background while you're reading, and it is so much fun. So I'm super excited and can't wait to get back into it because this will be my, fourth semester now. As I mentioned, you can create a character. My character is Nosilla. She is a dwarf over in Daroon. I've been sponsoring her, and she and I, we are a lot alike. We are very indecisive, and we tend to run behind on everything. So, once again, instead of just making a list of books from the prompts that G has provided, we are going to complicate this and play a little game. So we're going to do a one of three. Nosilla has sent me a list of books that are acceptable from her professors for each class that she has to take. And we're going to leave it up to fate to find out what our final book will be for each class. And in another video, I will also be setting up her bell schedule, and I will only be permitted to read my books during the designated time of day. So, I got to complicate it. We're even going to be throwing in exam dates, which means I will not have the entire month to finish my books. But it's so much fun. It's going to take over my life, which is already crazy to begin with. But we're not going to worry about any of that. We're just going to proceed like everything will work out just fine. So let's get right into this because we are down to the wire once again. It's August 28th. So yeah, school's supposed to start. Technically, you could start September 1st. We won't be starting until Monday the 2nd. And that's not very long at all. All right, let me get my list from Nosilla that she sent me, and we'll find out what our first book is going to be. So she is continuing on with Masters of the Elements. So I believe we're going to have 5 classes, but it takes 8 books this time. So, okay. So the first class is Elemental Studies. And this one, she actually has to achieve the highest level, which is a D for Distinguished. So we're going to have to pick out 3 separate books for this one. The first thing they will be studying is Gust of Longing. And the teacher wants them to have a book that reflects their favorite scent. So it either has to be on the cover, in the title, or the author's name. So let me get our little short list, and we'll find out what books we'll be choosing from. So Nosilla's first favorite scent is Potting Soil. It just smells so good. And that is found on A Statute of Limitations. This is part 1 in a cozy mystery series. From what I understand, the main character works at a flower shop, and she has a pet raccoon. Should be a fun time. Her next favorite scent was bread, specifically baking bread. It just smells so good. So we've got Death and Croissants. We got a croissant on the cover. This is another cozy mystery that's supposed to have some British humor. In fact, it's far funnier a book than a story about a bloody murder has any right to be. So apparently 2 people are going to turn up dead in this one. And our main character is kind of like ambivalent to it. He's kind of drug along on the investigation until somebody kills his favorite hen. And then he's going to get all up in arms and want to get involved in this investigation. And that sounds so fun. And the third favorite scent is old books. Nothing like walking into a bookstore or smelling an old book. And we've got the 13th Tale. This one, I don't know if it's a mystery or a thriller or both. First-rate mystery. So mystery is the theme for this one. And we're going to have a reclusive author who's famous for her collection of 12 enchanting stories. And I think she's finally going to reveal her real-life story. And there's going to be a journalist, a young biographer, that is going to be taking down the story. So I know this is a beloved one, but I have never read it. I've had it for ages. Got half-price books. So the way this works, we're playing a 1 of 3. So I'm going to grab a random piece of paper. It'll tell us what order to stack it in. Then we'll spin a spinner, and that will determine which book wins. Okay, let's find out how we're going to stack this. I think all of the papers are in here. I have no idea. We're just going to roll with it. Hopefully it's the right jar. It is. Okay, so pub date. The oldest one goes on top, and the most recent will be on the bottom. So let me find out when these all came out. So we have 2006, 2021, and 2020. So oldest on top. Here's our order. Let's pull up the wheel and find out which one I'll be reading. I don't know that I have a preference on this. I will say this one I got because I do have a Once Upon a Book Club box for book 2 and 3. So that would be kind of cool. But the other two sound really good too. So I'll be happy with any of them. Okay, let's see what we get. Last, oldest, longest. So the bottom book. Okay, I'm not upset by that. I'll be reading Statute of Limitations. So a little bitty. I do hate mass paperback, but it is what it is. After we finish that portion of elemental studies, we'll be moving on to the next section to get our qualified ranking, and that is influence and growth. So we were supposed to take the last book that we read before watching G's video. For me, that was Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. So good. And we found out how many pages it is and then add 100. So this one had 335 pages. So we need 435 pages for the book. And let me tell you, finding 3 of those, it took me ages. But I did it. In no particular order. First one is Heresy. This is exactly 435 pages. Yes. This is a thriller. Historical thriller. Good enough. Then next, I have The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl by Theodora Goss. This is the 3rd one in the trilogy. I would finish this one up. I forget the name of the series. I'm sorry. But this is 434 pages. Pretty close. This one would be a fantasy, adventurous fantasy, retelling kind of thing. And then I have 2 options, but we need to break it down to 3. So The Spanish Love Deception has 437 pages, and The Reappearance of Rachel Price has 430. So this is actually closer. So we'll put this one on. So it's only 2 pages over. And I will say I was quite proud of myself for finding those because that took ages. Okay. For this one, we have to stack it in number of reviews on Goodreads. Thought I got rid of this. This is a pain. Okay, well, let me go look it up. I had to put highest on the top and lowest on the bottom. I would bet Heresy is going to be on the bottom. Let me confirm. Okay, I guessed that completely wrong. Most reviews was The Spanish Love Deception. This starts the series. Didn't realize that. It's 76,872. Heresy starts the series as well, and this had 1,251. And The Sinister Mystery had 707 reviews. Really surprised me. So here is our order. Let's spin our wheel and find out which one we're going to be reading. I don't know which one I want. Maybe anything but the first one. And we get the first one. Yeah. Okay, so The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I have heard that this book isn't that good. I've seen, once the initial hype wore down from it, everybody was super excited about it. And it turns out that it might be a little stinker. So at least I will find out if I like it or not. That's the good thing. So we're getting a contemporary romance on there. That'll work. I think it's fake dating. So to finish off elemental studies, we have to reach the distinguished ranking. And our next segment in that class will be Sparkology. So we need a book with sparks on the cover. Any kind of sparks, like a starburst, fireworks, stars, that kind of stuff. So for the first one, I have the Westing game. This is an old classic, and it's an inheritance competition kind of thing. So, and we have fireworks. I am excited for that, and it's little. And then I have a sci-fi, Aurora Rising. I've really been wanting to read this one, and I've never gotten around to it. So it'd be cool to get some sci-fi on the list. And I am calling these constellation sparks, but she's kind of got a spark in her eye, a little glimmer. So we're going with that one. And this down here as well, this little light burst would count as a spark. And for the last one, we have some more fireworks. This is Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. This is part of the Meant to Be series. They're all written by different authors, and it's adult retelling of Disney classic fairy tales. This time we've got Rapunzel, and they're going to be doing a road trip. So our order is page count, lowest to highest, so shortest book on top. 309. By the way, I am ending on the story, not acknowledgments. This one, I'm going to guess 400 and 470 plus some unnumbered, so 470. And this little baby one, 182, definitely the lowest. So here is our order. Let's spin and find out which one's going to win. I'm hoping Aurora Rising wins. I want some sci-fi. I've been craving it. And I don't know much of it. Okay, let's spin. I hope the wheel is nice to me, or at least doesn't lag. Middle. I'll take it. Although this is going to be my second contemporary romance. Oh, both in the same class, so I'm going to be reading those back to back. Okay, this will be a fun time. These, I'm assuming, will be a dual POV. Yep, because that's how Christina Lauren writes, and I love that aspect. So I am excited for this. This was one of my most anticipated. I pre-ordered it. So these three are special because to finish Elemental Cities, I'm going to have to read this first, then this, then this. So we get to move on to a new class, and this is Shapeshifting. This time we're going to learn how to turn into inanimate objects. And we need jewelry on the cover to do that. So I have a Somerset Abbey, historical fiction set in 1910. And she is clearly wearing, I would assume, pearl earrings. This is like the Gilded Age, and they got some money but some troubles. And that starts the series as well, of course. And then we have the romantic agenda. This thing has made it, and I don't know how many TBRs, and I still haven't gotten to it. And you can see she's got a necklace, she's got an armband, bracelets, an anklet. She's got lots of jewelry, and I am looking forward to this one. We've got fake dating in it. And then we've got like a drama, I guess. China Rich Girlfriend, the second in the Crazy Rich Asians. I think it's what it is. Really enjoyed the first one. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but I do want to continue on with the series, and she is clearly wearing some jewelry. So let's see how we have to stack those. And we are going to go by author name length. So the shortest name is on top, and the longest will be on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to have to get a little creative here. Brown obviously has the most letters, 5. Quan and Con, what are the odds of that? So for these two, I'm going to put them alphabetically, and we'll just do it that way since they had the same letter count. Make sure, was it low to high? Yep. So this is our stacking order. Let's spin it and see which one I'll be reading. On this one, I don't know. I need to read this because it's on my extra challenges and I'm super behind. But a historical fiction would be good, and I wouldn't mind pursue. So I guess I'll be happy no matter what with this one. And we're going to get last, oldest, longest. So the bottom book, Somerset Abbey. Okay, I haven't read any historical fiction in a while, and I've been in the mood for this. So like I said, this is set in 1910, and I think it's about different sisters. It's a sprawling manor on the outskirts of London. 3 young women seek to fulfill their destinies and desires amid the unspoken rules of society and the distant rumblings of war. So, and I think the series, it progresses through each sister. Could be wrong, but I will find out during class. Next up is animal studies, and we're going to be learning about the phoenix. So I had a hard time with this one because we need a phoenix on the cover or in the title, and only one I have is Order of the Phoenix, and I am on book 3 in my reread of Harry Potter, and of course Fox isn't even in the third one, which is Prisoner of Azkaban. So I ordered The Forest Where the Phoenix Sleeps by Brooke Marley Jones. This won't arrive until September 6th, though. I am excited about it. I found this by doing a search for books with Phoenix on the cover. It's a fantasy. I think there's a romance. There's going to be a wizard, a burnt-out barista who accidentally incinerates somebody at work. It's just whoopsie. So it's supposed to be humorous, but yet dark. It's got a portal. She's going to go over there and learn about the magic that she apparently has. But, you know, it's not all rosy in that world. There's some sinister things at work. So we will see. I'm excited for that one. But if it wins, it's going to put me behind the 8 ball because I won't be able to start it until after it arrives, obviously. Now, I didn't want it to just have one book, so I'm stretching a little bit. And I am calling this Eagle Fiend a Phoenix. King of Scars part, I don't know, it starts off the next duology, Grishaverse, Le Bardiga, and this is where I am. I haven't touched this series in a long time, and it would be fun to get back into it. So I think it's okay to call this a Phoenix. And I, again, am stretching it. I picked up the Unwanteds. Somebody recommended this for one of our buddy reads, and I blank on who it was. I will put it on the screen. It sounded so good. I think it was in March when we were doing middle grade. And yeah, this is Harry Potter meets The Hunger Games. I obviously went out and got it. And I am calling these little origami guys down here Phoenix, even though it's probably a dragon. So let's find out how we're going to stack these. And I just turned another book backwards as a placeholder. So we are going by title letters. Longest title on the top and the shortest on the bottom. Okay, obviously The Forest Where the Phoenix Sleeps will be our longest title. And then the Unwanteds has 12 letters and King of Scars has 11. So let's spin and find out which one of this I'm going to read. I'm okay with any of them, although it might be really fun to read the middle grade. Okay, back to the wheel. And we get less. So the bottom book, King of Scars. Okay, right? Even though I love the Grishaverse and Leigh Bardugo's writing, for some reason I've been really hesitant to pick this one up. So it's probably perfect that it lands on my list because it'll get me back into it. And I'll also be, following the bell schedule. So I'll only be reading an hour and a half, hour, maybe 2 hours at the very most at a time. So it should be good. And I won't have that delay while I wait for the book to arrive. So that is a good thing. So in astronomy, we're going to be studying the constellation cradle. And we need a book that was released in our birth month. For me, that is August. And I have great lists to choose from. In fact, I got a little carried away and I picked too many. So As Good as Dead came out in August of 2021 by Holly Jackson. And then I have Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. This came out in 2022. And The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes came out in 2023 in August. And this month, 2024 August, the new Amari is coming out. In fact, mine should arrive tomorrow. So I pre-ordered it and it was, I think it came out on the 27th or something. So I don't know. I need to, it's got to be 3. So I'm going to, okay, as much as I hate to do it, I'm taking the Karen M. McManus book off because I think this one's a standalone. And all of these will help me progress on my series. I think that'll finish this one. This one, there's another spin-off since this came out. And then I will be completely current on Amari. So I think this is a smart way to go. So this is what we're going to do. I'm excited about all 4 of those. So let's find out what our order is. If I don't drop it. And it's going to be acquire date. Oldest goes on the top and the newest on the bottom. So obviously Amari will be on the bottom. I'm going to double check in case I picked one up late. So it will be in my reading journal. I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually waited until January of 2023 to get As Good as Dead. Hawthorne Brothers I got September 2023, so right after it came out. And of course, Amari's on the way. Let's go ahead and spin and find out which one I'm going to read. I'll be happy with any of them. Actually, I take it back. I want the Brothers Hawthorne middle. First. I don't think we've gotten any in the middle. Has everything been on the first? I don't know. So I'm not upset by this because I love these. They're like, she does a podcast and everything. I'm assuming her podcast is still going. So I finally get to read As Good as Dead and continue on with Pip. I don't need to know anything about it. I love this series. Okay, it's going on the list. We've got 1 class left, and that is Restoration. But this is another 2-parter. We have to reach qualified in this one. So for the ordinary level, we'll be studying Night Dew, and we need a book with a poisonous plant on the cover. And I had fun looking for this one. I had quite a few. So the Moonflower Murders this time. Oh, it's on the cover or in the title. Moonflowers are poisonous, and this is part 2. And Andy Horowitz, love his writing, his mysteries. So really enjoyed the first one, which was, oh my God, how did I go blank? I'm blank. It's the one with a book and a book. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. It's probably going to occur to me. I don't know. Nemesis by Agatha Christie. And I've been reading these all the way through. I think this is book 11 or 12 in the Miss Marple series. Every cover has a flower on it, and they're all poisonous. So this is the yellow trumpet bell, which is a poisonous plant. And this is Nemesis, Miss Marple. And then I've got a werewolf. This is Nightshade by Andrea Kramer. This, I think, was 2009 in that range. Werewolves. This is a good series from what I remember, and I've been wanting to reread it to see if I still enjoy it. So, 3 really good options. And we got I kind of want the Moonflower one, except that's going to be a slower read because, yeah, those you got to think. They're so good. Okay, anticipation levels. Oh, okay, so I put the book I'm most excited about on the top and the least on the bottom. Oh, no, now I got to choose. Okay, I'm putting Nightshade on the bottom. No offense to that one. How do I choose between Agatha Christie and most anticipated? Honestly, I think in my frame of mind, Moonflower Murders. We were just talking about it today up at the bookstore. So I'm hyped about it. So here's my most anticipated down to least. And I'm going to get Lag. Middle. I wanted middle last time. I get Agatha Christie. I'm okay with that. Okay, so I will be reading Nemesis, Miss Marple. I don't need to know anything else. Oh, and there's the, I knew there was one missing. So I'm going to put this one back in my jar. Because last time this has been on my TBR and I haven't read it. So it was the winner before from A to Z author. So 1 of 3 really likes Nemesis. Okay, it shall be read. I got that backwards. So we're not going to redo that. But that was actually for the Q prompt qualified, which was dangerous plants, and you needed a poisonous plant on the cover or in the title. So the Night Dew class, you actually need a night sky on the cover. So we'll just leave that. I'm not going to redo. That would be silly. So our last one, which is opposite. This is the ordinary level of Restoration. And we've got some night skies. First up, got the Harry Potter illustrated by Jim Kay. I absolutely love these. That is a night sky. I really hope this wins because reading this as part of Orilium is so fun. Just reading it a little bit at a time. And then again, I'm going to have to make a decision. I know I'm going to put Thunderstruck, Eric Larson, on there. This is a nonfiction. I have tried to read it before. It's very heavy in the math and it fried my brain. So Orilium might be the perfect way to do it because I'll be reading in short doses. And I love Eric Larson because he gives us history and with a real murder mystery to solve. So this one has to do with transatlantic communication. They set up the first telegram wire going across from Europe to America, I believe. And the math was way over my head, but I will plow through it if it wins. And then I've got two that I need to narrow it down. I saw somebody else was considering this a night sky, and I think that is the moon. So Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This will be kicking off a big series, but I've really been wanting to read it. And then I get to move on to The Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, and I think that's a night sky as well. And I've really been wanting to get back into, you know what, I'm going to do, I'm wanting to get back into Percy Jackson's universe. So put this on there, and Mistborn is just going to be put away. Okay, I grabbed another book as a placeholder because the Harry Potter book is oversized and it will fall off the shelf. And if it got damaged, I would cry. So we need to stack that. By a chapter count. So, okay, let me see how many chapters each has. And lowest goes on the top. Okay, thanks, Rick Riordan. He used Roman numerals, so now I got to think. It's LV1. So is L 50? 50, would that be 56 chapters? I'm going to look it up. I think it would be 56. Let me double check. Okay, it is 56, but I think I said LV1. LVI, duh. Okay, it is number 56. At least I was able to convert it. So, yay me. Thunderstruck has, they're titled, but there's no numbers. So, does that mean it has 0? I think what I'm going to do is just grab a different criteria because I am not counting all of the, no. So, we will try again with this one. Title length, word count. Okay, this time we go by words. Shortest is first. Okay, this one is super easy to do because Thunderstruck, one word. Lost Hero, 3 words. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Is that 6? Harry Potter and the Prisoner. It's so hard not to do syllables when you... 7. Okay, so let's spin. I am definitely rooting for Harry Potter. Come on, blast. Is it? Yes, I get to read Harry Potter. Now, I want it to turn out to be the first class of the day because that was so awesome when I had to start my day with Harry Potter. So, all right. I will be reading this beautiful edition of Prisoner of Azkaban. And this is one of my favorites in the series. This and Order of the Phoenix. I think those are my 2 favorites. Or maybe Half-Prince. Anyway. Now, you'd think we would be done. But Nosilla did add a little caveat to the bottom of the list. And she said that she's going to sign up for a demonology class. Now, she's not going to be studying the traditional textbook along with everybody else in that class. She is going to use that to learn how to summon her Impling because she still hasn't done it. And all of her friends have Implings, and she feels very left out. So she thought if she got permission from the professor to kind of sit quietly in the corner of the room and dedicate her time to learning how to summon that Impling, that she would finally achieve her goal and be able to do that. So she sent me what we have to do for that, and we have to make some decisions. Now, I will put it on the screen for you in case you've forgotten. Hopefully you've already done it, and if not, then go find this because I think it's going to be a lot of fun because we have some prompts on here, but they have to connect. So if you can get one book that fills everything, then yay. And if not, then you're going to have to get multiple. But you can't go, okay, I've got these 3, and then I want that one. Nope. If it has to do all of them. So I have been dying to read Tom Clancy. And I couldn't find any prompts that would fit that I could work this in there. I almost put, that I love the smell of gunpowder, just so I could have a shot at reading this during Orilium, because I think it would be perfect to read in the time blocking format. This will be a reread. But if you look at our little wheel over here, you will see that Patriot Games, I have read from this author before. I can start it at night, and it's got blue on the cover, but it is longer than 400 or 450 pages, and it wasn't released this year or last year. My copy's falling apart. So that will be the first book for the Impling thing. And then I have 3 other books that are all between 400 and 450 pages. One letter appears twice in each, and they were both released in 2023 or 2024. So it fits all of the criteria. Because on Rachel Price, we have 2 C's in the title. In Murder Your Employer, we have 2 U's in the title. And Artifice has 2 I's. So we're going to go to the wheel one last time and find out what our second book will be that we'll use to summon an Impling. I jumped the gun. I was excited. First, we need to find out how we stuck them. Just a second. Okay. We're going to drop one on the floor and take this one. I'm not doing that. It's number of reviews on Storygraph. We're just going to throw that on the floor. I want to pull that up. Okay. We're going to go with A to Z, beginning to end. I would assume this means title. So alphabetically, we'll have Artifice, Murder Your... Oh, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide. Oh, no. I didn't see that. Does that still count? Now we've got 3 U's. That sucks. I think that... Okay. We're in luck here. Because even if we use the subtitle, there are only 2 T's. We've got a T in McMaster's and a T in 2. So I thought I was going to have to find another book, and no. So alphabetically, Artifice, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide and Murder Your Employer, and the reappearance of Rachel Price. So that's our order, so let's spin. I don't know, which they all sound good. So I'm going to be reading Middle. Which, actually, I'm glad this one came up because I've seen it's got really polarizing reviews. I think people either... actually, I take it back. I don't know that anybody loves it. I don't think it did well. So, hopefully, it's right up my alley because this one's going to, dark sense of humor. So we will see. It'll be fun to find out. And this will allow Nosilla to be able to summon an Impling, finally, provided that we read the Patriot Games and then this one, which means I have to finish Patriot Games before I can even pick this up. It's going to be a good semester, I think. There's a lot of variety, lots of different genres, which will make it fun. And we're going to have to come back and find out what the bell schedule is. I'll make up a new calendar and a graph, and I will only be able to read those books during their allotted time. So much fun. And I'm nervous because there is a lot going on over here. So if you want to see all of the chaos that comes with this time blocking that I'll be doing while attempting to read all these books, be sure and subscribe and keep an eye out for that video, which will be coming up very, very soon. I hope to see you then. Bye.